I don't know why.
It's warming up. We are live. We are live. Come on, jazz hands, people. Jazz hands. Let's do jazz hands. We got 13C Gun Reviews. Joe is here from 13C Gun Reviews. There's his jazz hands. Babyface is doing a Ghost Gunner jazz hand.
You spoiled it. I was gonna do a great reveal. You ready?
Oh, go ahead.
Here, Ghost Gunner. So tonight, while you guys are all talking, I'm gonna try to chime in as much as I can, but I'm gonna be on mute a little bit because I'm learning to ghost gun a ghost gun.
Yeah,
so we're gonna mill this out. Yeah, while we're sitting here, I'm gonna try milling this out.
Yeah, nice. Freedom. So that's gonna go down. That's gonna happen live.
If I get super noisy, just let me know and I'll mute.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we'll either mute him or he'll mute himself. So we got Babyface P on the Ghost Gunner machine. We've got 13C Gun Reviews. Joe is here. We're live. It's episode 168 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast, live from the Big Daddy Gun Studios. See, there's the thing about Big Daddy Gun Studios. Hope you got your big girl. ATF is trying to change the law and all the rules and ban bump stocks. You know, panties on. That's a really big set of panties tonight. We're going to talk about that. We're going to go down through this proposed rules, right, Joe?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and what's going on with you, Joe? We know what's going on with Babyface. He's got a brand new toy.
Yes. So that is awesome. For me, I've actually been doing quite a bit of work with flashlights, if you can believe that. I had a review on this guy just go live. It's like a utility light. It's from Olight. I've been doing all kinds of lights from them lately. Pretty decent, good quality, a lot of rechargeable stuff. I mean, there's a lot of neat things about these. I got 2 videos up on them. One just went live, I think, yesterday for this one. If you're interested in utility light that puts out a ton of light as well as low light, anywhere from 1 to 2,300 lumens out of something this small, rechargeable. It's pretty neat. Comes with a headlight and all other kinds of stuff. We're doing a flash sale on them, I think, tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. So like 40% off if you hit the YouTube channel and check that out. You know, if you're interested in something like that.
Yeah, Olight's good stuff for anyone out there. They're coming. They're the brand new hotness. I mean, they've been around, but they've got some really cool stuff now. Especially, I like the USB rechargeability.
That's nice. Yeah, that's definitely a nice thing, a nice feature.
Yes,
because these guys recharge. I mean, it's just crazy easy to recharge. This is one of the bases. This base comes with a different version of it, but I mean, they just sit in there just like that. They're magnetic, and you know.
Yeah.
Pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. So we will go through that. We'll go through this proposed ATF stuff. Let me go down the line here and shout out to people real quick that are in the chat with us. I'm gonna try to do this first. Otta Kutom 1224. He's first. I don't know. I'm just gonna call him Otak from now on. So Otak is here. Vanessa Kitty's also here. Richard Hughes, Jacob R, Carolina EDC. Let's see. Cody Phillips says, yo, what's up? Carl Compton. Let's see. CB is in the house. Caviar Hound is in the house. I can't remember that one. So what's up to him? He says, what's up? Jacob R, which I think Tango Hunter. FireGN68 says, yo. TNA 2A guy says, what's up, Strange Nation? Chris Bullis says, what's up, dudes? Let's see. Richard Hughes. Midnight Range TM, Nick of Earth, also in the building. MDS 8168 as well. Let's see who else. Chad N says, hello, all my peeps. I smell lawsuit coming against the ATF over this new regulation. The Tyven Show is in here as well. Shout out to the Tyven Show. Let's see who else. Enrique Q. Boss Hog, Michael Bender, and I'm trying to scroll through the conversations here. Tactical Ranger 84, and let's see who else. Richard Monder as well. DCG 44S. So Baristopheles says howdy y'all. SoCal Gunner as well. Let's see, and KJB 1611AV says make your choices heard to the ATF folks. Totally agree with that one. Definitely, there's a link in the description of this video. So if you're watching and you're able to go to the description and click on that link. You'll see everything the ATF is talking about, and you'll be able to respond accordingly from knowing what's going on there. Call Compton as well as in here. Let's see, Armament and Axes is in the house, and William Hoffman. See William Hoffman. Let's see, E-Rock as well. Go through William. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anyone. There's lots of people in the chat right now, which is awesome. I'm asking all you guys very nicely to smash your thumbs ups. Okay, we need as many thumbs ups as we can get. Shout out to Jess Deffin, as well as Matt Morrison, Richard Harper, Steve O'Bear says says baby P is cooking dinner for Walter so Peggy can have the night off. That's not a microwave. That's not. It looks like a microwave. Is not. STL Storm Chase Spotter, John J. Washburn, also Edward Andrews. Shout out to him. DC2 Mega Boost. Real Cujo's in the building. What's up, Real Cujo? He just communicated with me on a secret communication device that Joe, I think maybe tomorrow I'll start telling more people about it. But if you're a Patreon of the Hank Strange situation, you have the means to communicate with me through the secret communication device. Joe, it might have something to do with a cell phone. That's just a hint. That's just a hint. You know, that's just a hint. I'm actually giving out my cell phone number, and people can communicate with me freely and openly.
You got to pay for the privilege, though.
Well, no. Right now, I'm giving it out to everyone that is a Patreon. So, but listen, guys. It's gonna 10
cents. 10 cents a month, and you can send dick pics all you want to Hank. That's all you got to do.
No, okay. Somebody mute Babyface P. One thing I do not want to see is dick pics. Thank you very much. No, thank you. You can send those to Babyface P. What's your Gmail again, Babyface P?
I'm not throwing that out.
Joe's putting up. What are you putting up, Joe? What is this? Oh
God, that's Hank's phone number? I hope so.
No, I think that's Joe's number. Someone's number. I don't know whose number. There's a 867-5309.
That's from a song, man. Come on. Yeah. You're from the 80s, actually?
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah.
Jesus, Hank. You got to get the 90s child to spell it out for you.
Oh man, I don't know, man. Okay, there you go. But yes, I am doing something like that, but I'm going in waves. So right now, the people that sponsor us on Patreon, we're letting them have access to that, and many people do have it, and they can send me messages. I just got a message from okay, let's see who's sending me a message. Cody is saying, "What up? Look at that. Check that out. I'm not even bullshitting you guys. Cody just sent me a message there on my phone.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah. So Cody sent me a message before the show. Real Cujo sent me a message. He got a package from Lola Strange in the mail. So see, this is how the people can keep in touch with me from now on. So shout out to those guys. Timothy Smith, I see John Brown. There's a whole bunch of other people here. David A. If I missed anyone, what is this? Fata Schlery Harry? I don't even know what that one is. Sketchy Roll, Exhale is in here. John Dieter, Jumpy Killer QX, Kyle Lusk. Shout out to everyone. And yes, you know what? Tomorrow, what I'm going to do, I think tomorrow, is I'm going to give that number to everyone who is registered in the email list. So we have a email list at hankstrange.tv. All of this stuff always cracks up Babyface P. But this is what we have to do, Babyface P. Now he's not listening to me now.
I'm listening. I'm just laughing back here.
Yeah. So this is what we have to do, because when YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or whoever the hell else out there wants to pull the plug on us, we don't have a way to communicate with you guys.
We have no way to get dick pics to Hank.
No, would you?
I'm
gonna mute you if you don't even try it. If I get one dick pic from anyone, I'm gonna forward all of that to you. What were you gonna say, Joe?
All right, so I was gonna say this is crucial. Oh, while you're taking your water.
Oh, you bastard!
So what Hank is saying about this email list is absolutely crucial. And shameless plug for myself: 13c.us. Sign up for ours as well. Promise not to spam you. 1 email a week, absolutely maximum. But YouTube has just gone through today, a new round of strikes. I don't think my channel's gotten one yet, because obviously I'm going live with you right now, or otherwise I wouldn't be able to do that. But to different people over very innocuous stuff. AK operators just got one with their 1,080 round test of whatever freaking AK he's doing this week. But he just got a strike on that. So they are ramping it up yet again, another wave. And last week I had a bunch of videos that were previously demonetized that I appealed, that got reinstated, demonetized again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, there's a new round. There's definitely stuff going on. And, you know, go ahead, Joe. Let me let you finish and then I'll jump in. Sorry.
No, yeah. So, I mean, that's my point, is that at any moment, I mean, when you look at the standards of what they're striking people for right now, they could easily strike pretty much every single one of my videos, except for the last video with that one flashlight, because there's no gun in it. That's like the only video on my channel that could not possibly get a strike based on the criteria that they just used to level a few strikes at a couple different channels today, which means that you could literally go from being no strikes and on the air to 3 strikes and shut down in a matter of seconds and never have any idea what was coming. It's just going to boom, happen.
Yes.
And you woke up to that, Hank knows firsthand when he got banned, because it's basically you went to bed, you were fine, you woke up the next morning, you were banned, basically, right?
It's worse than that.
Yeah.
We were live streaming and the stream just stopped working and everybody's like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, that was the first
one.
one. Yeah, that was the first one. And then a couple weeks later, they hit us with 2 more rapid fire.
Yeah.
And we went down. By the way, someone just sent me, not dick pics like Babyface P wants, but someone just sent me gun porn that looks like a Tavor.
Tavor, yeah.
I don't know who it is. So just for anyone out there who has that number, when you send me, when you text me, then I'll send you back a link, and you click on that link, and then you can input all the info that you want me to see. And then that's how I know who you are. So you got to fill that out. There should be a link there, or I'll send you the link. And then you click it, it makes a contact on my phone so I know who you are. That's like the thing about this. I need to know who I'm speaking to, and then we will definitely communicate. So like I said, people are sending me messages that way. And what we'll have is eventually when I'm doing this, wherever we are, whatever we're doing, I'll be able to keep in touch with the people. One of the things that we're doing, Joe's doing it. What's yours again, Joe? What's your email?
You can go to 13c.us or 13cgunreviews.com, and on the right-hand side of the page will be a thing to say sign up for the newsletter. If you want to put more of your information in there, you can. Most of the fields are optional, except for obviously your email and your first name. That's it. So if you want to put in more information like your state and stuff, you're more than welcome to. But I really don't need any information from you guys other than your email. And then you'll get a thing back confirming, so it's a double opt-in, so nobody can accidentally sign you up.
Yeah. Now Exhale is sending me messages on there. So like I said, anyone look and see that just came through from Exhale. But when you send me messages, I know it's Exhale because I see an Exhale sticker. But still, man, fill out the form that I'm going to send back to you, and that way I'll be able to keep in touch with everyone. So my other way is hankstrange.tv. You have to go to hankstrange.tv. It tells you there's a little box there. There's a video that tells you how to do it. There's a box. You put your email in there. You get on the email list. That's how we communicate with you, like Joe said. And there's also other links of things you can do there to support us. And what we'll do is keep in touch with you, let you know when we're doing cool stuff, what's going on, etc. And when we give away stuff, by the way, you have to be on the email list from now on. And we are going to pretty soon here, once we get, there's a lot of craziness going on here at this time. Once we get through all of that, we are going to give a lot of stuff away. Lots of giveaways coming up. So you want to get on that email list. And so what I was going to say is the next wave, I'm going to give this number out to whoever's on the email list, and you will be able to communicate with me like that as well. You could text me stuff all day and night if you want to. It's all good. After 2 a.m. in the morning, I refuse to answer anything until when I wake up. But as Lola says, I have to go to sleep sometime. So there you go. That's going on. Lola also put a thing here. She said that she picked some people for everyone who knows, like the What Are You Building giveaway that we had with ATI Outdoors, as well as Barnauls. She picked some people. She got in touch with them. You need to get back to her and give her you know, your info and all that kind of stuff. And you need to make sure you're on the HenkStrange.tv list. And, you know, we'll help you guys out. So we're going to give away 3 parts that come from ATI to help you with your build. And we're going to give away 3 parts that come from Barnauls within reason. You know, within reason. We've got to get Barnauls to actually give us this stuff. We can't go, yeah, we want this, you know, this part that costs $5,000, but it's got to be a lot better than that. But that's going on. She has picked the people. She's communicated with you. Communicate back with her, and we'll get that going. Okay, so that is that. Joe, have you had a chance to look at this thing yet?
Yeah, I've been going through this in depth now while we've been talking. I'm not all the way through it, but they are. So do you want to hit some high points now, or you want to just dive right into it, or?
Yeah, let's jump in, man.
All right. So basically the interpretations that they're using here is based upon trying to act off their previous decisions, like on the Atkins accelerator, if you remember that. It's a device that ATF originally approved, then they confiscated all of them, basically. So I'm not all the way through it at this point, diving down to the minutia, but some things to focus in on are they're arguing that, you know, comments made that people can bump fire, and they're actually in this whole thing that they put up here at the federalregister.gov. They've talked about, they've gotten a ton of comments about the people being able to bump fire with just using their finger, for example, and not using a bump stock. They argue against that. They're trying to make the argument here that basically that, quote, set in motion by a single function of the trigger. So basically they're saying that it's not that when you, and they use the words placing your finger on the ledge, shouldering it like you would a normal stock, placing your finger on the ledge, and then using the recoil of the weapon to move the trigger back and forth, your finger is stationary. So they're saying that it creates a device. And reading through this, and I've read quite a bit, they're quoting a lot of different opinions from Supreme Court decisions over the years in here, including Olafson and a couple others. So there's good and bad news here. The good news is they are just going after bump stocks, theoretically. And I hate to say good news because that comes off wrong, right? The bad news of that is that they're just going after bump stocks with this, which means there are going to be less people who are more inclined to fight it than others. And of course, that goes into the same thing of, you know, you've heard those things. First, they came for the baker. I was on a baker, so I did nothing. Next, they came for the shop clerk. I did nothing because I wasn't a shop clerk. And finally, they came for me, and there was nobody left to stand up for me. So they're coming after this piecemeal very specifically in this. And I would be shocked if this one doesn't go through based on what I read, because they're making some very good arguments as to why. And I'm not saying I agree with it, but based upon previous history of like the Atkins accelerator, stuff like that, they're making a very good basis for why they're doing this, and why they're changing their mind and backtracking on what they initially approved.
Right,
so,
because obviously they've looked at this several times, and in the past they've concluded that these devices, we're talking specifically about the bump stock, is not a machine gun. They've concluded that in the past, right?
Yes, and they're specifically saying that they, because they, quote, only looked at it under the one specific approach of the trigger of the finger manipulating the trigger each time. And they're saying that they didn't look at it in whole, and that's why they feel like this is that's a very short snippet, because there is there are, I have no idea how many pages I've gone through so far, but there's got to be damn near 70-80 pages here probably.
Yeah, so let's try to go through this methodically. For anyone who's interested in this, there is a link in the description that of this video that we've put up so that you guys could go see this. Let's try to go through it methodically if we could here, just to help out the folks who don't have, are not able to do that right now for whatever different reasons. So there is a link, and we recommend you guys read it. So this is from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, ATF, Department of Justice, and that's the agency action is notice of proposed rulemaking. And then I'm going to read the summary real quick, just so that you guys know. The Department of Justice proposes to amend the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives regulations to clarify that bump fire, quote unquote, stocks, slide fire devices, and devices with certain similar characteristics, and then they put in brackets bump stock type devices, are quote unquote machine guns as defined by the National Firearms Act of 1934 NFA and the Gun Control Act of 1968 GCA. Because such devices allow a shooter of a semi-automatic firearm to initiate a continuous firing cycle with a single pull of the trigger. Specifically, these devices convert an otherwise semi-automatic firearm into a machine gun by functioning as a self-acting or self-regulating mechanism that harnesses the recoil energy of the semi-automatic firearm in a manner that allows the trigger to reset and continue firing without additional physical manipulation of the trigger by the shooter. Hence, a semi-automatic firearm to which a bump stock type device is attached is able to produce automatic fire with a single pull of the trigger. With limited exceptions, primarily as to government agencies, the GCA makes it unlawful for any person to transfer or possess a machine gun unless it was lawfully possessed prior to the effective date of that statute. The bump stock, yeah. So what they're saying is, like, if way back then, if you were even alive back in 1934 and you had a bump stock and you registered it, then you'd be okay, I guess. The bump stock type devices covered by this proposed rule were not in existence prior to the GCA's effective date and therefore would fall within the prohibition on machine guns. If this notice of proposed rulemaking NPRM is implemented, consequently, current possessors of these devices would be required to surrender them, destroy them, or otherwise render them permanently inoperable upon the effective date of the final rule. So that's like, I'm not going to read every single thing here because we'll be here for like the next couple days.
Those are the high points. Yeah.
Yeah, that was their highlights in there. And Joe and I are going to go through it. If you guys are reading through it and you want to bring to our attention certain parts of it and all that kind of stuff, we could do that. But what's happening here is basically we had this incident because these guys looked at this before. They looked at it under Obama. I'm pretty sure that the people at the ATF are still people appointed by Obama. Mm-hmm. Right? I don't know if Trump has changed anyone in there. But under Obama, they looked at this and they said multiple times, they said it was fine. Then we had this incident that happened in Las Vegas, and the president and the NRA both together, you know, opened up the door to this and said, oh, this is our brilliant thinking of playing 3D next level chess. We'll have the ATF look at it and then tell everyone, hey, we already looked at it. It's no good. All right. And this will all go away. And this is the result of that. They've looked at it, and under the pressure from the president saying, yeah, I want you to change the rules, and, you know, everyone else trying to do that, they've decided to change the rules basically and go back on what they said before. So I don't know. Did I summarize that properly here?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go through it, which we are, but I'm just trying to skip ahead a little bit so we can save some time. I think they're estimating somewhere between 500,000 and 600,000 of these units being out there. Correct.
Yeah. At a cost, they're estimating about $96 million that have been spent. That's what they came up with. It's probably high on that cost, but they said, yeah, about somewhere over 500,000 at a cost of about $96 million.
Yeah. And so in here, have they put in anything to, I mean, because basically they're seizing your property or ordering you to destroy property that you purchased legally, and that they sanctioned when you purchased it, you know, and now they're creating a law based on political motivations and pressures. And now there's going to be people out there that have to get rid of property to the tune of whatever this is, 500,000, not 500,000, you know, maybe 50 million or 100 million, close to 100 million, you know, dollars worth of stuff. They expect people to just send back to them, destroy, or, you know. So
Yeah. So right now they're going into the specifics here of, I'm finally getting into turning them in, right? So you can torch cut them. Basically, they want you to treat it like a receiver, where you torch cut it, removing at least a quarter of inch of material for each cut you make on the device, or driving it or mailing it to the nearest ATF office. They're talking about how the cost to retailers of getting rid of it, getting stuck with inventory that they'll have to destroy. They're also talking about how local ATF office would get reimbursed. So ATF office will get reimbursed if you drop it off to them and they have to destroy it. They'll get reimbursed.
But what about the people? How will the people be reimbursed?
I'm looking here. Wage series to destroy existing inventory.
Yeah.
So they're talking about how much it's going to cost them, but I don't see anything here
about the people.
Right.
I don't think they intend on doing that. And what they're trying to do is get away with this. And I think this makes bad precedents. I'm looking at comments that everyone's making. We do have a lot of comments, by the way. I'm going to ask everyone to smash the thumbs ups. We do need to get some thumbs ups going here, just to highlight that we're doing this video for people out there. We've got over 200 people watching. We've got about 140 thumbs ups. And we would really appreciate anyone that would smash the thumbs up button right now. That helps keep us going here. If they get away with this and they set a precedent that they can go back, okay, and change the laws, you know what they could do? Anything.
Anything.
They could do anything they want. And there's people out there like, oh, you got to don't act crazy and don't do this thing and don't do that thing. Hey, I recommend that people don't act crazy when communicating with them, because you don't want to give them a reason to send government officials to your house. So don't get into that, and definitely, respectfully tell them, hey, this is not a good thing. I don't really think, though, in the end, that they care what we say. They're planning on pushing this through, and we have to plan on fighting it in the courts and everywhere that we possibly can and resisting this, because if this is allowed, they can go back and get rid of anything. They could go back and say, you know what, a regular trigger today, no good. We're going to go back and regular triggers, they're no good. They could change so many things. And if you look at this, the first part after they go through the summary, the first thing that they do is tell you about the news. It's under supplementary information. They're saying that they're doing this because of something that happened in the news.
Yeah, they're specifically saying, and they put out the Vegas shooting specifically. They call it out by name. And they say that the massive amount of destruction related to that because of the bump stock is the reason. That's literally the only reason for this entire thing, is one single incident that occurred. And we still don't know for sure. I mean, we still don't have definitive evidence of how much, if any, he actually used rifles with bump stocks on it during that. Because we do know that one of the rifles that he had up there, at least one of them, was illegally converted to an actual machine gun. But of course, everybody's focused on the, dozen bump stocks that were found up there.
Yeah. Can I tell you something? We don't know what the hell happened here, man. We have no clue at this point as Americans. Okay. The ATF is making rules. The president's making rules. Everyone's making rules for us that we have to live by, and we don't have any idea. I don't know if the president knows. I don't know if the ATF knows what happened. I don't know if the FBI knows. We don't know anything. I'm not trying to go conspiracy theorist on this, but we don't know what the hell happened. All we've seen so far in Las Vegas, where every single move you make, every breath you take, somebody's watching you and recording you. We've only seen, I think now, like the second piece of video or something like that.
Yeah.
So we have no idea. We've seen this guy go get guns or come in, check in with a bunch of stuff, be taken up to his room, leave, come back with a whole bunch of stuff consistently and being checked into his room. What? To do something like this, if you're one person, you don't need all these guns.
Right.
You're not capable of firing all these guns at once. Why would you bring all of these guns into a room to do something like this? Why wouldn't you bring, if you're one dude, I think, let's say that you could shoot with your two hands and then you somehow magically can shoot with your 2 feet. Why would you need more than 4 guns and then magazines and ammo? Why would you Why would anything more than that be necessary? Obviously, something else is going on here, you know, and we don't even know what that is. But before we find out, these guys are deciding, yeah, we're going to go back on years of us saying that this thing is not a machine gun. We're going to make it a machine gun, make people who possess it felons, where they can lose all their rights by having it, or they have to destroy stuff that they spent their money on, you know, pay taxes and bought legally. That's bullshit.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely. You know. Now, one thing that I think is important, if we look at how specifically they delineated, if you change a couple of the words around, right, because they're very specifically going after bump stocks, I mean, they specifically call out all the features of the bump stock all the way down the line that would cover all of them, you know, without a doubt. But if you were to change the word bump stock to, you know, insert your favorite thing, right, you know, a binary trigger or even a 3-gun trigger, and you go down the line and just change and tweak 1 or 2 of those words, you've got a perfect copy paste format. When you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, which is about 2/3 of the way down, you've got a perfect copy paste format to insert 3-gun trigger, binary trigger.
Yeah.
I mean, virtually anything you can think of. And I had a conversation the other day with someone who said, who basically said, you know, all aftermarket triggers should be illegal. But then they also said that they built with their dad, and this was somebody who's in their 20s, and I don't know how old the dad was. They said they built an AR with their dad, and they put in a Ruger trigger system. I'm not exactly sure what the hell a Ruger trigger system is, but in his mind, since it was manufactured by Ruger, it was an aftermarket trigger, even though he put it into a gun after the fact. I mean, it was hard to explain to him, and I still don't think at the end of the brief conversation we had, I still don't think he understood that just because a company that doesn't make guns makes a trigger isn't making the exact, I don't want to say functional wise, the exact same trigger as, you know, any big firearm company name, right? I'm wearing a hat from Geisley. They, you know, there are a lot of triggers they make that are functionally identical to other ones. Obviously, they're smoother, they're way crisper, way better. But and Geisley now actually, I guess, does make a couple of guns technically, right?
Guns?
Yeah, they make a lot of rails. They make some different uppers. They make a lot of things. I think they actually have made a couple of guns. I don't know if they actually sell them, but they are a firearms manufacturer, from what I recall.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything actually.
Yeah, but the point would be the same triggers that you could get from any other, functionally anyway, generally speaking, the same triggers you get from any other manufacturer, just because if it was made by a non-gun manufacturing company, whatever the hell that would mean. It's an aftermarket trigger, but if it's the same trigger made by somebody who makes guns, it's not. I mean, it's just, that's the ignorance level that's out there, even with people who know something about firearms. And you talked about, you don't even know if Trump knows necessarily the full details. Trump's not a gun guy, and you know, he might as well be talking about describing how, you know, I don't know, a steam engine works, or I don't know, you know, whatever type of device, right? You know, he doesn't know. So whatever his experts tell him, whatever Wayne LaPierre tells him over the lunch table, is what he's going to take at face value.
At this point, the only experience I know that Trump has is banging Playboy models,
right,
and supermodels.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, so
it's the only thing I know he has.
That's probably the only thing he's got expert subject matter on.
Right. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of feedback here. Absolutely. Listen, man, I think this is just like, you know, this is divide and conquer. They know that we'll push back on this. They're like, okay, let's get this through. You're right. If they get this through, then it's just a matter of time before they go down the line to the other triggers.
Yeah.
And say, well, yeah, we're good. You know, now we're deciding that we're going to go after these other triggers. Then when they get rid of those triggers and go, yeah, you know what? Maybe these triggers aren't, you know, like just regular triggers. I don't know, whatever that is, right? A regular trigger, you know, we have to set like what a rate of fire should. They could just keep going with this stuff, and they could do anything they want to do. They could go back and, you know what? Everything other than a musket is now illegal.
Yeah.
You know? I know that sounds like, oh, no, that's not what they're going to do. That's not reasonable. These are reasonable things. So you should be reasonable and say to them, oh, please don't do this to us. And I'm telling you that this is batshit crazy, that we are living in a country where they're going to ban something and they're telling you because of this incident that happened. and they don't even know what happened. They're not telling us the truth about what they know what happened. Something happened in Las Vegas. There's a shit ton of cameras in Las Vegas, and it's unreasonable that this guy went to a hotel room with all this guns and this ammo, thinking that he was what, just going to sit there and keep shooting people for 5 months or 6 months or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. And he knew he wasn't, because he set up cameras out in the hallway. I mean, he knew he was going to, well, whoever set it up knew that something was going to come.
Maybe he set up cameras. Yeah, we don't know who set up cameras. We don't know what happened. It does look like some kind of arms deal was going down, right? Why would you take all these guns there? He's done this before.
Yeah.
This is the situation, and what they're telling us is, okay, well, we're doing it because this happened. So basically anything that happens in the news, they could turn around and ban that thing because of something that happened in the news. Let me see. I wonder if there were hundreds of thousands of human beings being murdered every year, or even like, let's say thousands and tens of thousands of human beings being murdered every day. Would we make that shit illegal? Would we make whatever it was destroying those human beings' lives illegal? Because we live in a country where it's totally legal for thousands of people, tens of thousands of people every day to go and destroy human life. There's nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying it's a good thing what happened in Vegas, because I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think any of these things are good things when they happen, but these are physical things that human beings get behind and manipulate in order to make bad things happen. So that means that you could, if you set news as a precedent for setting laws, you could do whatever the hell you wanted.
Absolutely.
And that's what to me, that's what the problem is. That's what I think people are missing here. And people are also missing that we're living in a country that doesn't want to tell us what the hell happened in Las Vegas. Yeah. If this guy just went there to kill people, and he killed these people for no reason, right, other than he was a psychopath, and we are, what are we, like 4 or 5 months out from that? Why can't you just tell us what happened?
Yeah. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I can't wrap my mind around, if it happens the way they said it did, why isn't all the information out there and available to us?
Yeah, I say tell us what happened first, and then bring this stuff up, and I'll still tell you hell no. But tell us what happened first. If you want to act like there's any sense going on here, like there's any kind of freedom going on in America, tell us what happened first. Because you're saying that you're doing this because of the news. So then tell us what happened there.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
it. Yeah. Show us the video, put out all the video of what happened to this guy. Show us who this guy was. Tell us who else was there, who else was staying in the rooms around that place. Show us who else was on those videos. Right? Who else went down the hallway with this guy? Who else went to this guy's room? Show us all that stuff. And when we finish digesting that, then you could start talking about this other crap, so that we could tell you hell no, because it doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
But that's not going to happen. I mean, wow. That's amazing. I mean, people have to think, if you're looking at this in America and you don't know what happened, and even the media is not on this every day going, what the hell happened here?
Yeah.
If this is outright a guy who just went to this hotel room and kept going back and taking luggage to go up to the first set of luggage that he took, if this was his intention of doing this thing, he didn't need any more luggage than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've tried to explain that to people. There are various Disney World, for example, right? They are doing daily room checks down there. If you go to visit Disney World, you stay in one of their resorts. Either housekeeping or someone has to come in your room every single day. And the thought process there is based upon what happened in Vegas, allegedly, right? Well, it's at all their hotels, right? I mean, who's going to launch an attack from the first floor of, one of their little economy resorts that has a view of a swamp, right? And nothing else. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's something weird going on with that. But the response from people in general that I've seen is, oh, well, it's okay. But regardless of how you look at it, you've got someone coming into your room and checking it every single day, whether you want somebody in your room or not. And for people like you and I, when we go on vacation, right? Mm-hmm. When I travel, those in-room safes, right? They hold maybe a laptop if you stand it up on its side, maybe, you know, a tablet, a couple phones, maybe you can fit in there. You know, I travel a lot of places with a nice camera. If I take the family on vacation and it's around an event in Florida, we may go visit, you know, a hotel, and I put the do not disturb sign on the door so nobody comes in and messes with my camera stuff while I'm gone.
Yeah, because I don't use those damn safes. That's like a waste of time to me.
Yeah.
Anyone who could get into my room could get into that safe. Yeah,
it's literally you just slide the cover off and push the pin in, and you're in. Not that I'm giving away any trademark secrets. A quick YouTube video will show you exactly how to do it.
Right.
But I don't know if it's some sort of conditioning or what, but there are people who think it's a good idea. And then, of course, you know, you point out to them, well, they could just have all that stuff in the trunk of their car, bring in 1 or 2 bags, and then as soon as room check's done, they got 24 hours to do whatever they want, right? Till the next one rolls around. You know, and could you imagine trying to search every single car? And even if you did in Florida, it's illegal for a business to prevent you from keeping a firearm in your car as a customer.
Yeah.
Still, right? That's still the law, right?
Yeah, I think, you know, I think so. Who knows?
Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what's weird, man? It's just, I mean, I'm going to move on from this particular subject, but it's just weird that the timeline for us is that we will get all these laws, and then, I don't know, a year, 5 years, 10 years, never from now, they tell us what actually happened here. And then what? Because we already have the laws by then. So that doesn't make none of this makes any sense to me. There's nothing that explains to me why they won't say what happened here unless the government played some part in what happened here and they do not want to expose that to us. That's the bottom line. They played some part in what happened here and they don't want to tell us about that. Okay. This is, you know, this is the way that I feel about this particular thing, because why else would this be that nothing is coming out of it? So, all right. Do you want to go down the list of what else is on here? Is there anything else that you find like stands out to you?
Other than it's very specific, it's very thorough based upon, there's no loopholes here that they're going to miss any sort of bump stock type things. Very specific on terminology, very specific on changing. This is also obviously another thing that's important. It's also specifically changing their view of what makes a machine gun between finger manipulation of the trigger. It's totally taking that and setting it aside and saying, all right, that's no longer the gold standard. That is just one component of it. We can basically make it mean whatever we say it means. And I think that's probably the biggest takeaway, is that what makes what has made a machine gun, you know, quote unquote, for the past 60, you know, well, 70, 80 years, whatever the hell it's been, since 1934, everything what's been the gold standard is gone after this. All right. The one common thread is completely gone. So now that would mean that they can open it up to anything that they want. I think that's the biggest takeaway, is that this is not just about bump stocks. This is about totally redefining what a machine gun is and allowing anything they want in the future to get thrown under this new terminology, if you will.
Right. Absolutely.
So I think that's the biggest takeaway. And then obviously they are willingly admitting that they're going to steal property from at least 500,000 U.S. citizens without compensation.
Right. And we're going to just stand idly by and let them do it. You know, and it's crazy, you know. Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of like you said before, there's a lot of stuff about the cost of destruction, you know, and what it's going to cost them. And I guess, so in this, basically the ATF is asking for more money.
Yeah.
So they can do this, you know, so they can go out there. If you think that the ATF is not going to be running down all of these bump stocks and where they went to, you are out of your mind. It's going to happen. And by the way, I don't think this is the first time this ever happened. This has happened before.
Yeah. And it's important to note that when for people who don't know, when they did that Atkins accelerator, they collected all the information from every source they could, and they sent out letters and/or went door to door to people with these devices. So, I mean, the idea that you're just going to hide it. The idea of you're just going to hide it under your pillow. If other than you buying it cash at a point of purchase somewhere, if you bought it credit card wise from any retailer, be it in person or online, they will
They
know
got
you
you.
have it eventually.
They will show up.
They will show up.
Yeah, I've spoken to people about this before. If there's any way that it's tracked, but listen, let's be honest. Whether they tracked it or not, you know, in some cases, if they show up, that's the nice way of going about it. To be honest with you, right? Or if they send you a letter saying, "Hey, you know, come to our attention. You have this thing. We want you to destroy it." That's a nice way of going about it. If you don't do anything about it, if you bought it cash or whatever, and you think you're going to be okay, if you wind up in a situation when you get pulled over and people are looking, or someone just for whatever reason they wind up in your house and they're looking for something to pin on you, here you go.
Yeah, and this is it is now under this if this comes to be, it's a machine gun. So it's no different than you having an unregistered M60 in your trunk, right? It is no different under the eyes of the law. It's a machine gun. It's not a bump stock that you just forgot about was in your closet or whatever. It's a machine gun, and it can be prosecuted as you having
possession of it. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I'm going to hit some other points. I just want to remind people, I don't think we still haven't gotten to 200 thumbs up. So come on, people. You guys can definitely help us out. There's like 250 people watching right now. Give us a few more thumbs ups. Get us over the 200 mark. You know, come on. I think we're doing good things here. Joe's looking exceptionally well.
Thank you. I'm still reading this on the side here, trying to see if I missed anything.
Yeah, you got to give us credit for that. And then I don't know what's up with Babyface. I know he's muted. We can't see his camera right now. He's, you know,
he's still ghost gunning.
Yeah, he's still there. He's still ghost gunning. So we will, you know, the camera is not on. So for all we know, he could be getting some booty. Anything could be happening right now.
Trying to take a picture to send to you? Sure.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. Don't. Yeah, I hope he's not trying to send me pictures, because I definitely don't want to see that. So let me, you know what? I found some parts here that I think I'm going to go through real quick. So the cost savings, it says the ATF did not calculate any cost savings for this proposed rule. Benefits, as reported by public comments, this proposed rule would affect the criminal use of bump stock type devices in mass shootings. That's so stupid.
One time.
Yeah,
allegedly one time.
Yeah, such as in the Las Vegas shooting. And the criminal use. If someone's a criminal, if they want to do something bad, there's no. If they want to do this again, doing this is not going to stop them from doing this again.
Nope.
That's the crazy thing that people don't understand. The technology here, the cat is out of the bag with this technology. Or the genie is out of the bottle. You can't rebottle this. So that is stupid as hell and makes no kind of sense to me. Of if someone wanted to do something criminal, or if terrorists wanted to do something, this is not going to stop them. Okay, a terrorist can come in here naked with nothing and figure out how to do this. So that is really, really stupid. Okay, the purpose of this rule is to amend ATF regulations to clarify that bump stock devices are machine guns as defined by the NFA and GCA. And that's exactly what Joe just said, man. I mean, just having this stock makes it a machine gun. It's whether, like, if they said, hey, if this is attached to a firearm, then it's bad. No, just having it is making it that. Banning bump stock type devices could reduce casualties in an incident involving a weapon fitted with a bump stock type device, as well as assist first responders when responding to incidents, because it prevents shooters from using a device that allows them to shoot a semi-automatic firearm automatically. What? That is okay. That, you know, if someone at the ATF actually believes that, whoever wrote this thing, they don't have any kind of common sense. Alternatives. Alternative 1, no change alternative. This alternative would leave the regulations in place as they currently stand, since there would be no changes to regulations, there would be no cost savings or benefits to this alternative. Alternative 2, patronizing a shooting range. Individuals wishing to experience the shooting of a full auto firearm could go to a shooting range that provides access to lawfully registered pre-1986 machine guns to customers, where the firearm remains on the premises and under the control of the shooting range. ATF does not have the information to determine which, where, or how many gun ranges provide such a service and is therefore not able to quantify this alternative. That is stupid as hell. Don't know what that means.
So for that, what under the law, what they're trying to do is they're trying to prevent court challenges. They're preemptively trying to prevent court challenges based on previous rulings, some of which have nothing to do with firearms at all. Basically, they're saying is that, well, if you want to experience shooting machine gun, we're not stopping you, because you can always go to a range that rents its own legally owned machine guns and shoot those machine guns. So you're still able to shoot them. You just can't shoot your own, but you can shoot these over here. That's what they're saying. They're not totally preventing you from enjoying the experience. You can just enjoy it somewhere else under someone else's control.
And if you can go to that range, why wouldn't you? What about a bump stock? Can you? Because a machine gun has nothing to do with a bump stock. What if you want to enjoy the experience of a bump stock?
There was another section in here they could point to theoretically, not to get too far off in the weeds, but they could point to, because they're saying that basically, you know how their dealers post 86 dealer samples. What's I forget the full terminology, but that's the slang terminology. Basically, they're saying is that if you've got a SOT that can manufacture these devices, you could technically sell them to other SOTs or demo them, whatever. So that's how they would slide them in that category.
Yeah. So the third alternative in here says opportunity alternatives. Based on public comments, individuals wishing to replicate the effects of bump stock type devices could also use rubber bands, belt loops, or otherwise train their trigger finger to fire more rapidly.
Yeah.
To the extent that individuals are capable of doing so, this would be their alternative to using bump stock type devices.
So they're admitting that a belt loop is just as effective as a bump stock. But
yeah,
the one thing I saw in there that I thought was interesting, I thought they ruled that rubber band type devices were manipulating the trigger, and that in a previous ruling they said you couldn't use a rubber band because remember the whole shoestring thing. There are other things. I don't want to get too far off in the weeds on that, because I don't know what I can legally talk about or not. That's not. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
But are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
One of those previous rulings. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a huge.
That was a couple of years ago.
Don't let me forget it. When you're done, there's a huge paragraph in here that was talking about what I was talking about with 3-gun triggers and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, you know what? I mean, but here's the irony of all that. So that means that they know you could still replicate rapid fire. Then what difference does this make? How is this going to save anyone going forward?
Yeah.
It's not going to. So why are we going down this path? What difference is it going to make? How many years did they say bump stocks have been around? Like the last 8 years or something?
Yeah, at least. I think the earlier one goes back a little further than 8 years, but yeah, I mean, they were basically, they said in the past several years, it's ramped up in the past 6 years significantly, because there's more than 2 manufacturers now.
So in the history of America, people could always have, well, I don't know how long do we have belt loops? Probably, I think jeans can go back to, go back for a while. Belt loops probably go back for a while. We've had belt loops. We've been able to do all this stuff without the belt loops. We've had these things, and in the history of America, this is the one and only time that something like this happened. Maybe we don't know. That's like a fact that we don't know exactly what happened, and so they're going to go back and how is that? And all this time, this is the one time that it happened. How is that going to stop it? There's no way. This is totally ineffective. It's not going to do anything to stop it from happening again, except they're going to go out there and ban a piece of plastic. So this is obviously, to me, not the intention here. I think the intention here is just to create a precedent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I spoke earlier about, and I mentioned the how it could be with just plugging and playing, when you get down to the meat and potatoes of it, words to ban 3-gun triggers and all this other stuff. I'm just going to read this right off of here. So this paragraph in section A of God knows wherever we're at here. I don't want to scroll back up and find the full spot, but here it is. In 10-letter rulings between 2008 and 2017, ATF assessed other bump stock type devices like the Atkins accelerator, and these other bump stock devices allowed the shooter to fire more than one shot with a single pull of the trigger. As discussed below, however, ATF ultimately concluded that these devices did not qualify as machine guns in ATF's view because they did not automatically shoot more than one shot. ATF also applied the single pull of a trigger interpretation to other trigger actuators, two-stage triggers, and other devices submitted to the ATF for clarification. Depending on the method of operation, some such devices may be classified as machine guns that are required to be registered with the National Firearms Registration and Transfer Record. So, and this is part of a larger paragraph of other paragraphs before and after this. I'm not going to read them all because, like you said, we'll be here all night. But the key there is that based upon what they said earlier, that no longer is the single pull of the trigger the lone defining line between semi-automatic and fully automatic. They are completely setting that aside now and saying there are other ways, some of which they mention, some of which they leave open and vague. And they're also specifically talking about in here, if you saw that here, two-stage triggers as well. Now, of course, as we know, a two-stage trigger is about as basic as you can get. It just allows for slightly more precise shots. Now, does that turn your rifle into a sniper weapon? And you know, God forbid you have a bump firing sniper weapon. You know, who knows where the hell they're going to go based upon this, right?
Right.
But the proof is in the letter itself. If you actually care to read these voluminous pages that are listed here, and they specifically lay out things like two-stage triggers. Maybe. Well, exactly what does that mean? I mean, if you've got a two-stage Geisley trigger that's got, you know, a 3.5-pound pull up front and a 1.5-pound pull on the back end, is that now somehow enabling? I have no idea. But the whole point of that is they are looking at these things already, and they are setting up history and precedents in these rulings. You can see, as they said, they're building letter by letter. They even spell it out, the past 10 ruling letters. They are building as they go and setting precedents for this. So it cannot be, I don't want to scream the sky is falling, but it cannot be ignored what they're doing, because if you read the entire thing, it's plain as day.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, like people are saying in the comments that obviously it's just they're just trying to look like politically they did something. You know what the thing is? What we do know is that someone or some number of people from a high vantage point in Las Vegas were able to, you know, and there was a concert, and so they had a high vantage point, and they were able for an extended amount of time, you know, be able to pick out people on the ground. That's what we know, right? So if that is the reality of that, there's a whole bunch of other things that should be banned. High vantage point, concerts, Las Vegas, you know, whatever you want to pick out of that. To go after this one thing, if anything, if this guy if he had all this ammo and even all this time, as we've all said before, he could have done a lot more damage, you know, if that's what he really wanted to do.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? If he wanted to discriminately go after people, he could have done a lot more damage. Right? That's what I would think. I would think that if someone planned to do something crazy like this, they would have a scope, you know, and they would take their time and they would just pick people out instead of shooting indiscriminately into a crowd.
Yep.
You know, but I mean, that's what we're dealing with here. So, all right, let's see. I don't know if there's any other points in it. This is really long, so we're trying to go through. I know it's talking about some executive orders. You know, there's some executive orders here that I think that people are trying to put in that we probably have to spend a lot of time going through. So they're seeking comments and all that kind of stuff. And basically what they did from the comments that they got the last time, they try to structure this so they can push back against everything that's coming at them now. There's a part here, part 447, importation of arms, ammunition, and implements of war. So there's a lot of parts here that I think we really need to take some time and try to go through. Part 478, commerce in firearms and ammunition. You know, yeah. Then there's another part 479, machine guns, destructive devices, and certain other firearms. You know, there's a lot of stuff here, and I think that we all, you know, you're going to see that over the next couple of days as people get a chance to go through this and figure out what the hell is going on and what they propose here and what is even going to wind up. You know, they're going to come back even with more stuff as we go forward. So I would be very wary of this. I would definitely push back against this. I would definitely let people like the president and our other elected officials know that we're, you know, that we're not going for this. You know, that we have to draw the line. Obviously, we've been drawing a line for a long time, but I don't think these people are really serious about it. Let's see. Looks like Babyface it's coming back to the camera. We see Babyface. That was some long booty that you just got, man.
Yeah, some problems.
Uh-oh. What's up?
The bolts that I need, they supplied me with something that's longer than what I need. And I think the office, we have another box because we ordered 3 of these machines. I think in the other box of the office, we may have the correct size bolts. So Marley and I might go get dinner and I might swing by the office because I'm doing this tonight.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the bolts are stopping progress here.
Yeah, you need M4 by 45s, and I think I have M4 by like 55.
Okay. I know there's a box right here in the studio for that thing.
I think Tony brought it back to my desk today, so.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's over at my desk. Unless it's behind you. Is it over there? Do you see it over there behind?
No, no. So the people are asking exactly what you're doing over there. I guess there's some people that are coming in now. You were trying to run this ghost machine, right?
Do you want me to bring the laptop over so you guys can see?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's show us. I'm going to lock it in on you. You can show us what's going on here.
Yeah, so we have we bought 3 ghost gunners. These are small desktop CNC machines that will turn. Let me grab one of these. It'll turn a 80% receiver like this into a 100% receiver. And it's CNC, which is computer numerically controlled. So basically what these are touted to do is, you know, you put the receiver in there or non-receiver in there. You basically press a button, it mills metal away and comes out as a completed receiver. And I think it takes about 20 minutes, something like that. So problem is the bolts that I have right now for getting the receiver into like this receiver jig into the actual top of the workstation itself are too long. So Marley and I are going to probably get dinner, and I'm probably going to go back by the office and pick up the correct bolts because I'm not giving up tonight.
Oh, okay. Okay. So we've got some comments on that. Yeah, and it would be good if we could come back maybe tomorrow or something. Yeah. So we're
not watching chat. What are people saying?
Yeah, John Dieter says more washers. Scott Puccini says, aren't the bump stock plans already out there for 3D printing? Out in the open. So yeah. And Darth Mayhem says, I have to be 21 to buy M4 bolts.
So about the bump stock thing, yes, I'm sure that's out there. I'm sure you can make one on your own. If this stuff does pass, though, that basically would be like me machining a 3rd pinhole into this receiver, which would make me a felon. So I would avoid doing that if you don't want to spend a minimum of 10 years in prison. So that's just me. But yeah, no, everybody needs to write the ATF and tell them how stupid this is.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. Some people say you're living the life. Lead Devil said now those will be banned.
We actually have one more. I bought one of these because I could. And we have one sitting in the shop right now. We have one that should be delivered sometime this week. Well, tomorrow's the last day, so hopefully tomorrow. And on the way home, I actually got a call from Cortland, who's the shop manager. And he said that somebody called him asking if he could buy the one that's sitting on the shelf there. So it's sitting on in the shop.
Yeah. So
we got one left.
I think Lead Devil is saying, why do we give all our secrets away? And people want to know the price of it. By the way, this is something that's already out there. This is not a secret. If you think the ATF doesn't know about this.
Oh, yeah. No, this is so for anybody that wants a little bit of backstory on this machine, you guys might remember the name Cody Wilson. He was the first person to really 3D print a pistol. He printed the Liberator pistol, I think. It was a 380 that shot. I think you could shoot like 5 rounds through it. before it was done. Completely plastic, 100% plastic. No metal components whatsoever, which was cool. And then he ran into trouble with the ATF, basically saying you can't share that information with the world at large because it's ITAR regulations, things like that. So what he ended up doing was starting Ghost Gunner Inc. You guys can look them up online. It's just ghostgunner.com, I think. And they are highly precise desktop CNC machines that are open source. It comes with everything you need to machine a AR-15, an AR-10, or a 1911 receiver. But like I said, it's open source. So a couple guys, other projects are coming along like somebody made this, which are 3D printed parts and a little needle-like thing for engraving. So you can also do, with the open source code that somebody else has written, you can also do engraving. Conceivably, you could write your own code and make your own jigs to machine whatever you wanted. Yeah, it's just a matter of time. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah, people want to know what the cost is. We are authorized dealers of these now.
Yeah, I think there's 1,600, 1,675, something like that.
Right.
So when you say something like that, when you're like, oh, it's $1,700, a lot of people will like pee themselves instantly because that's a lot of money, and it's a lot of money. But when you're talking about CNC machines in general, with somebody like Walther who has 3 CNC machines, I know that one of them is about 90,000, and the other ones I think are slightly more. So when you're talking 1,600 for a very precise CNC machine, it's in the mechanical world. That's not a lot of money.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of things involved here. I don't know if anyone has any other questions or if you have any other comments on it. So 3D printers, all those kinds of things, they already exist, people.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. The government can try to do what they want, but currently making your own firearms is perfectly legal in most states.
Yeah, this is the world that we live in. Here's basically what you're looking at. You can get a hunk of metal and you could chisel it out.
Yeah.
And make it into a lower. Okay.
If you really had the time, you could grab a chunk of aluminum and a file and make yourself a gun.
You could get a chunk of wood and do it. You
could get a chunk of wood and do it. Yeah. Yeah. You could put 2 pipes together and make a shotgun. I've seen it done.
3D printing is going to end. Is going to make every gun control law completely obsolete.
Yeah.
Even more important. I mean, obviously, we've got, for people who are familiar, you can 3D print Inconel, which is a silencer material, and there are a bunch of 3D printed silencers out there on the market right now.
Yeah, absolutely. People want to know about the warranty. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm sorry. What were you saying about warranty?
No, people want to know about the warranty on these. Yeah.
It's a very small company. I'm guessing it's.
You're breaking up a little bit.
It's one of those companies that if you buy from them and you break something, they'll probably fix it for you. It's not a big company.
Yeah.
So I can look it up if you guys want the specific warranty.
Yeah. What were you going to say? What were you saying, Joe?
Oh, I was just talking about the sturdiness of printing, like the Inconel silencers that are 3D printed. I mean, those things, you're making really small, 5-6 ounce cans that'll handle, a 10-inch 5.56. So if that material will handle that kind of muzzle blast coming off of there and that kind of heat, they're more than easy to start 3D printing lowers. It's just a matter of time before those types of machines become cost effective for the average consumer.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing here, like I keep saying it, I think, we all keep saying it. The genie is out of the bottle.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's no way any of this is getting put back in the bottle. We are wasting time trying to pretend that we can do something about this. We cannot. It's been like this from as far back as you can go. When human beings started existing on the planet, this is what we started doing. Not just us. I mean, every creature that's alive does it. Okay, they defend themselves. They attack other people. This is nature. This is life that we're talking about, and this is just a natural progression. That's what's happening here, and people just need to realize that and wake up and get over it. Smitty334 says he's got a ghost gunner. Good stuff. It takes longer than 20 minutes.
Oh, I haven't run it yet. I watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and I'm guessing they were sped up then. But yeah, the whole process I'm guessing is going to take about an hour because you have to change things around, move stuff. But it's the idea to me is just really cool that I can sit here at my dining room table, order in a 80% lower, which this is not a receiver. This is just a chunk of aluminum at this point. Bolt it into this machine, hit go, and it comes out as a ready to go receiver. It's amazing to me.
Yeah. Now, let's not kid people out there. These aren't cheap. Not the machine. The 80%ers are not cheap.
So this one, no, they're not. And that's a problem. And I've seen them go for. So I've seen Cero Forge, which is the key mark, like the lock mark on the side. I saw those yesterday going for $45 a piece. This one is considered a blim because it has like one scuff on it somewhere, and I couldn't even remember where it was. And this was $30. So yes, it's not cheap, but to me, building my own stuff is part of the fun. I would rather pay a little more to build something of my own where I can, engrave my own stuff, engrave my own logo, do my own fire control, stuff like that. It's part of the fun for me. Yeah.
And as part of even our bump stock conversation, you have the right to build your own firearms, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Well, as long as you're following like NFA rules, you can't build an SBS or an SBR like those idiots that cut their guns in half a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Within the parameters of rules that have been set up that are all unconstitutional. Mm-hmm. And a total waste of time. All right, cool. I don't know if anyone else out there has any other questions. Let's see. Brian Quick says you still need to anodize the lower. That's part of the structural integrity.
Anodize.
Anodize, yeah.
Yes, I'm not going to anodize mine. I'm going to. I actually have a Cerakote. I have Cerakote out in the garage, and I'm going to Cerakote it. I'm not going to anodize it.
Yeah. Armament and Axis says babyface is me at his age.
Seriously, getting into this stuff, like I could totally do this on the big mill outside that Walter gave me, but how cool is it? You just press play and it does it. It cuts it all for you. To me, it's just amazing.
Vanessa Kitty says Connecticut is working now on banning that machine in Connecticut, which
ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
As hell. Doesn't make any sense. Mike Bryant said he submitted a comment. And then there's people who want to know if you can let other people use it or rent it or whatever, how that all legally works out.
So I've looked into a little bit. I can let anybody use this machine as long as they do it themselves. That keeps me from being a manufacturer or a gunsmith. I can't charge for the use of the machine. And I really can't push the button for you. I can sit behind you and tell you, click here, put this together, stick that in. So there's that. I can't charge for the use of it, and I don't think I can rent the machine. I have to look to see if I can rent the machine out. Because that puts you into a new category of being in a business, and then with that business, being a business has a whole bunch of other requirements going along with it. So for me, if you're in North Florida and you're local around us here at Big Daddy Guns, buy yourself a lower. You can come over and use my machine for free because I am not, hear me now, I'm not in business, but we can have a beer and make a lower for you. You can make your own lower. How about that?
Okay, that's a pretty bold offer there.
Yeah, If anybody's local wants to make one, I know I got James on board. He's going to be making his own next time he's up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you have any questions about this, Joe? I don't know if Babyface is planning on getting out of here so he can go have his quote unquote dinner.
No, right? You guys, I'm good. I'm good for a little bit.
Okay.
Well, I tell you do get hungry, so I don't blame him for that. No, I think that pretty much covers it. I've looked into them quite a bit, and I've been tempted to pick one up myself just to do it because I think it'd be cool. But
yeah, absolutely. Hold on a second. I got to sling my my Keg 12 over my shoulder here for a second. I just gratuitously I got to sling it over my shoulder. Okay, so what's up?
I was just gonna say. So I don't know if I think I told you today a little bit, but you haven't. When it comes in next week, we'll show it off on camera. I ordered a new gun today. Well, an old new gun today.
What you ordered?
So for anybody out there, I ordered a Springfield M6 survival rifle, or it's actually the M6 Scout. It wasn't the survival. It's a really neat. It's a 410 bottom barrel with a 22 top barrel, 22 LR top barrel. Folds in half. Chiappa makes one now. If you look up the M6 Scout or M6 Survival, you'll come across like the Chiappa version, but those are like super crap. The old Springfields that they stopped making in 2008 are pretty cool. So I found one on Gunbroker today and I ordered one. So should be here next week.
So a couple things going on. Everyone wants to be your buddy. John Dieter says, old buddy, old pal. He says he'll pet neckbone while you wait.
If you guys are in North Florida, I have no problem letting anybody use it.
Yeah,
I hate to run like one or two of these a year on this really nice machine. That's stupid. Yeah, it needs to be used.
Yeah, Key says, make sure you give your address out, Babyface. And Rick Thompson said, Babyface is Walter's son. Didn't you know? I would say to that, his head is not big enough to be a Keller.
Not quite.
They have serious noggins, in case you don't know that. But, I mean, they're very close. They're very close, though. And let's see. I don't know if there's any other questions there. So, what is that you have there, Joe? Galil?
Yeah, it is. A Galil Ace.
Oh, man. 556 or 762?
556.
Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. And I think you were waiting for some parts. Did your parts come in?
I am, and I mean it's 7:16 here. The mail has already technically come. Yeah,
it's dark o'clock outside your window.
But you can see here it's supposed to be delivered by 8 o'clock tonight. I am losing faith. Our post office here is the absolute worst. I mean, it's horrible. So
I've ordered so many things in the last 2 months that say they're going to be here one day and then they never show up until like 3 days later.
Yeah, so that's what it says right now. We'll see. I've updated it every half an hour to see if maybe they were able to stick it in the.
Well, there's a lot of shipping things going on. I'm not sure where you're getting that from, but I know I was talking to the guys from Barnauls last week, and even I was communicating with them this week. The folks that we know that don't typically work in the warehouse. Everyone that works for Barnauls now has to rotate through the warehouse. There's so much stuff getting shipped out. Mm-hmm. So that's just giving you guys an indication of what's going on. So I think there's lots of commerce going on for sure right now. So let me see what else is going on here. By the way, this is my Kick 12. I don't know if I told you guys that.
Oh, it looks nice.
And here, I actually modified it a little bit, Babyface and I.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
When I said Babyface and I supervised. I had to run. Someone had to run the camera. So here you go. So we changed this out. This is from ATI. I can show you guys. I think I have one right here from ATI. There we go. It's the Mossberg. It's from Mossberg, Remington, Savage, Winchester, and the Tri is for TriStar.
Okay.
TriStar, rare pistol grip, 12 gauge. So there you go. That's from ATI. I've got one on there for you guys to check out. These are really cool. Whether you have an AOW like this, and I know that Walter sold a bunch of these. If you have one of these, this is really great, by the way. It's very comfortable. You can get
that weird funky back section, I believe, is a quick detach for a sling swivel. You can put it right in there.
I think so. Yeah, I haven't see right there. I haven't
put like a single point sling on there. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, we have a video on YouTube. I'll probably make an even shorter version and put that on Instagram as soon as I have the possible human time. with all the crap going on here. Babyface works over here now. I barely saw him today.
We've been busy.
Yeah. Yeah.
A couple guys will walk into so I got the front office now, and the
excuse me.
Ahead of me, above me, will walk in and go, "Hey, we got a new project for you. Look into this." And without like any specific details, just, "Can we do this?" And I'm like, "I'll find out." So,
I'm not even allowed. Like, I have a whole list of things that I want to put you on, but I'm like, I'm way down the list.
We're working on Big Daddy Unlimited. That's our big thing right now. So
yeah, absolutely. You know what? Since we're talking about Big Daddy Unlimited, by the way, guys, there's a link in the description that will take you to Big Daddy Unlimited. Do you guys want to? I have mine pulled up. I don't know if you have yours pulled up, Babyface.
I do not.
Yeah, but let's explain to folks real quick what the Big Daddy Unlimited is. You explain it, and I will pull mine up right here.
Big Daddy Unlimited is a monthly subscription service that you can join in on. It's $10 a month, and basically you get wholesale access to all of our wholesalers. So there's like 130 something thousand items available. It's pretty insane, and you get wholesale access. That's basically it. It's really awesome. The pricing is, if you're the way I've said it is, if you buy one gun, you're basically have paid for like 3 years of depending on the gun, obviously, paid for like 3 years of subscription. If you buy ammo once a month, you're gonna pay your subscription no problem. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically it's giving you access to what and I don't think every store has access like this, by the way, because it puts together a bunch of different distributors and things like that out there, which a lot of gun stores, if you don't know, like the smaller that you are, the less of these you have access to and all that.
Yep.
You, for your monthly, which is $10, you have access to a massive one that Big Daddy Guns put together. And under Big Daddy Unlimited, you have access to that. And, you know, you can search things. Not everything's available because it's not available out there. If it's not on there, it's not on there. Just like when you go into the store, right?
If you're looking for a P365, keep on looking, because even we can't order them into the shop.
Yeah.
So
is anyone? Yeah, let's see. Let's see if you can find out. Joe, do you have anything you want to find out in here? Let me see. I'm gonna look and see if there is a SIG P365.
It's probably listed, but
it's probably listed. So
all right, we're going to get dinner, and we will swing by the studio.
Okay.
We might be live in the next 20-30 minutes. We'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right. Drive safe.
We'll see. Okay, we'll see if he actually gets his butt over here. We'll see how that goes. Yeah. He says he's on the way here. We'll see. So yeah, if anyone wants me to search through here, I'm gonna try to go through that right now and see what was I looking for. Oh, P365. Let's see if it's on here. So the method that okay. So the method that we had for doing this, because we cannot tell people, Joe, because of map and all that kind of stuff, we can't really expose, you know, the prices and stuff like that to people. So that's why it's a membership thing. And if you go to Big Daddy Unlimited and you're going to see, unless you're a member, you can't look at this stuff. So I know people ask us about that all the time. So, and then we have to figure out inventive, creative ways to try to tell you how much you would save by doing this. So we came up with this thing called Walther Bucks.
Walther Bucks. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And one Walther Buck, since Walther is a, you know, is a very, very wealthy man, and he's of high value. One Walther Buck is $100. Okay. So just so everyone knows. So I did find P365 here. It's out of stock currently, but if you were a member, you would save 1.3 Walther Bucks. There you go. That's actually pretty interesting. I don't know if anyone else has any. Let's see. Someone wants to know Mac 10 clone.
How about?
Okay, go ahead. Which one?
All right. The holy grail, what everybody keeps asking me, where can I find one? Scar 17.
Okay. So I'll do that first, and then I'll come to some other people here. So
not in the chat here, but I get that question like every day, because in the video I did a video comparing it with the well, not comparing it, but just an accuracy shooting of it next to the G2 Recon with the Geisley trigger in it. And I mentioned in the video I picked it up for $2,700. And this was years ago. So I mean, I bought that 7, 8, 9 years ago, maybe. And everybody keeps saying, "Where would you get it from that? You're lying." I'm like, look, 7 years ago, I got it for $2,700. But yeah.
Okay, so let me see. I'm pulling one up here. And by the way, if stuff is not available, because not everything's available, you have to look through. If stuff is not available, there is a way that you can put in your email address and they can notify you when something's available. So, okay, so SCAR 17S, 30816. Let's see. Okay, black 20 round. Okay, so here we go. So you would save on that SCAR 6.88 Walther bucks.
That's a nice savings right there.
Yeah, there you go. On that particular one. Let me see.
So saving that many Walther bucks would buy you what, 60 months worth of membership?
Yeah, and that's on yeah, exactly. That's on the okay, I see there's let me see, because I don't know which ones. Okay, the FDE is not in stock yet either.
Yeah, the FDE is so hard to find.
Yeah, there's a bunch of different ones. I mean, in all of these, you don't come across them all the time, by the way.
Yeah.
So let's see who else wanted to know something. CZ.
While you're looking up the CZ, people keep asking me about this. This is the Holosun HS515CU. I have a video up on it. We beat the hell out of this. We did some water testing on it. I submerged it for a while on video while I was talking about the features. Great optic. I love it. This is not the new military one, but honestly, this thing is a tank. I really like the hell out of it. If you're interested in it, check out that video, because I go through all the stuff in it, and I mean it's seen thousands. It's been on half a dozen guns since then. I keep putting it back on this one because I like it, and if I need something handy in the middle of the night, this is a great little well, I can't call it a rifle because it's technically a pistol, but it's a great little pistol.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's a lot of stuff in here. I'm trying to find that, so I can't really find that yet in here. So that's not. Let's see what else anyone has. Someone wants to know about it. What is this? A Mac 10 clone? Okay. Man, you guys can come up with some weird stuff. Let's see, Mac 10 clone. Oh, I guess that's not really that weird. Not seeing that in here. It depends on how you search for these things too, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And what company. Oh, I think the company is MPA. I don't know. That's what I'm getting here. Masterpiece Arms. That's what MPA is. Okay. Let's see what's. There is stuff for Masterpiece in here. So, but I don't necessarily see that one from them. So let me see. I'm gonna try to see if I could find other stuff from Masterpiece Arms. Okay, what else do you guys have out there? I don't know if you could see the chat because I'm busy looking into this.
Somebody asked about Glock magazines.
Okay.
Glock 17 mags. What else is on here? Somebody asked about what a Vortex Venom, I think. We've got a Canik TP9 DA asking about a Kel-Tec Rdb Survival. There's a bunch of stuff in here. SIG MPX K brace. Yeah.
I see the what is this? There's a 9mm pistol here, I guess, that kind of could be that. I don't think they could call these things exactly what you're calling it. Let me see what I'm trying. And then you want to know like particularly what magazine it uses and all that. So I don't know whether or not this falls into the exact category of what you're looking for. So, okay, what was the other thing? What was that? What you just said?
Here's a good question, Hank.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's asking, does the subscription renew automatically, or is it manually every month? And how easy is it to cancel?
I believe it does renew automatically, and you can cancel by calling up, or you could probably even just do it online. So there you go. That's the answer to that. Yeah, someone said I can't type. It's not just that. Like, I'm trying to figure out the names from what you guys are telling me, and then you all would have a better time typing here than I would. What was that other thing? I think Canik, right? Let me look up Canik.
Yeah, it was, I know it was a TP9. Let me try and scroll up here and see what it was.
Which one? Okay, so forget it. I'm just going to pick this one. Okay, so here's a Canik Tp9 Sf Elite, which is not available because I don't even think that's out yet, right? Is that no? That might be out already. The Elite
dropped a few months ago, I think. I don't know how many they have out, but the Elites are out. The Combats aren't out yet. Yeah.
So if you're looking at the Elite, it's you would save yourself 1.2 Walther bucks. That. So there you go. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to see which one were they talking about? Was it the Combat?
No, it was the TP9 something double action. I'm trying to scroll up. It was a ways back here. I can't.
Yeah. Okay. So what was the other thing? What's the other thing? Give me another one here. Okay, SIG. Okay, someone's looking. Okay, you guys really should be. You know what? You could spend your whole day. You could spend your whole day on this looking up stuff, which is actually fun. Like I'm having fun looking up what's in here, to be honest with you. So there you go. All right, let's see who else.
Joe B asked what this is a 5.56 caliber, takes standard AR magazines.
Yeah.
As I was scrolling back trying to find that.
Okay, and there's some other questions there. If you could just take a look at the other questions, some people are asking non this question. So let me see. Someone's asking about okay, so Glock 19, you would save two Walther bucks, depending on what you're getting up to here. So on a Gen 5, so not bad. Okay, so you know what? I could probably go back into that later if we have time for that. But let's hit up some other questions that we have here from other people that are going on. Someone wants to know what our feelings are on ghost guns. Babyface is not here right now. He'll probably come back in later. So, how do you feel about the ghost gun?
Insofar as my overall feeling about it, I mean, I love from a freedom and liberty standpoint, I absolutely love it. As far as it seems like there can be some fit and finish issues that you have to kind of deal with, but once you kind of work on those, normally they'll run just as well as anything else. It seems like, assuming you do it right. But from an overall bird's eye perspective of the idea of ghost guns, I absolutely love them because that's what freedom and liberty is all about. Being able to defend yourself and the government not being able to take it from you, just willy-nilly being able to come along and, disarm the entire country. The more of these things we have, the better it is. Same thing it was back next month in a few, what do we got? 20 days from now, we'll have the yet another anniversary of Lexington and Concord. And, they came to confiscate colonists' guns. They didn't have a list, and they failed a lot of times until finally the colonists had enough of it and said, "Yeah, no, we're done with this." But imagine if they had lists and they just started going door to door. I mean, door to door, knowing who had them, and then, if you didn't have them, taking their wives or their kids or whoever else. I mean, ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Once you start going door to door, all bets are off, and
Yeah. You know what? I would probably echo what you're saying. I'm hearing myself. I'm hearing my echo in the echo. Okay. I would probably echo what you're saying there. I think that when you build things like this first of all, I believe it should exist. What we're really looking at with the Second Amendment is not all these infringements. All of these rules and stipulations that you can't do this, you can do this. Today you can't do this. Yesterday you used to be able to. Now you can't. All of that's bullshit as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, these are things that anyone can make out there, and you're just making laws saying that people can't make it. So in terms of that, I'm fully 100% for that stuff. But yes, it does take time, and you're the one that has to do it. It's like when we, if you build up a pistol, whatever it is, from scratch, it's all on you now. Whatever goes wrong with it, you're the person who has to build that thing up. You can't go to a company and go, "Hey, I bought this thing from you. It's horrible. Fix it." It's all on you. So that's the that's like the consumer side of it. you know, but these aren't complicated things, you know, they're not super complicated. And if you enjoy the process of figuring this out and making and building and making stuff for yourself, it's not really that bad. So I think it's great for that. Just understand that it's not 100% plug and play like when you see someone do it in a video.
Yeah.
You know, because now you've got to go in there and tweak out everything. And the thing that can make the errors are you. You know, and as you can see, even with the machine, you know, there's always some part of that you're like, oh, you know, that's why Babyface doesn't have the right length screws or whatever it is, you know, it's always on you. So, and there's other things that could go wrong, you know, when you're doing this kind of stuff. So who knows? I mean, that's why I really want to see how it works when he does it. Like, you know, what if his dog tries to jump up there and bumps that machine? What happens then? You know, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, what are the questions here? Okay, Lola, I know you put up some stuff here, but I'm not sure. I think people want to know where Walter is. What's going on? Oh, okay. So I guess I'm supposed to read out these names, Joe. So here's who Lola chose. She said Tango Hunter, SoCal Gunner, Chris Illog, Cody Phillips, Boss Hog, and Mike Bryant. So that's who Lola chose right there. You guys need to get in touch with her. I'll read it out one more time. Tango Hunter, SoCal Gunner, Chris Illog, Cody Phillips, Boss Hog, and Mike Bryant. You guys get in touch with Lola at her email is lolastrange1@gmail. Get in touch with her and start the communication process there so we can get that going. All right. People are trying to
the weirdest way I've ever heard to pronounce 13C gun reviews.
What? How does someone pronounce it?
Tango Hunter, I think, was one of the ways you guys pronounced it. It just sounds weird.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So, and then people want to know, like, the price where I'm saying, yeah, that's, you know, people want to know if it's from MSRP. Yes. So there you go. Here's another one. Someone asked about Kel-Tec Rdb. You would save yourself 4.2 Walter bucks on that, by the way. You know, I really recommend that if you're interested in this, you know, take a look at it. It's like $10. You could do it for a month and you could just dig through there and look at your heart's content. And, you know, if you can't find anything that you can do in a month, hey, you know, I mean, you don't have to get it the next month. But if you do find something and you save some money with it and then it pays for itself throughout the year, then whatever else you need to get, you can get. They're going to, you know, if it's ammo and accessories and things like that, they'll drop ship it to you. Unless you're an FFL, if it's a firearm, then it has to go to your FFL. And of course, they'll ship it out to them. So, and there is a link in the description if you guys are interested in that. Some people want to know where Walter is. I have no idea. Something's going on with Walter that he has to get done over there. And usually we see him in the chat, but I don't know if you guys have seen him. I haven't seen him in the chat. I don't know if anyone's seen him. So, you know, but yes, every now and then I see someone says that every now and then Walter needs to take a break. Walter is, you know, they're at Safety Harbor Firearms. They have some really cool things that need to get built. And he's trying to get those things built. And like I was saying with the CNC machines, whether they're the little baby ones, like what Babyface P has, or the big ones, they are machines. Sometimes there's problems with the machines. All these things have to be milled out, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, there you go. Let's see. Anything? What, you know, let's go to some news, man. Let's go to some other news other than what's going on with the ATF. How about that? Sure. I think we could do that. By the way, we're like at 256 thumbs ups. I think we can get some more thumbs ups than that, guys. So if you're out there, please come on, give us some more thumbs ups. Let's see if we can break that 300 thumbs up mark right now. Do you have any immediate news out there that you want to hit up, man?
Was it 5807's House bill? The assault weapons ban bill that's in the House right now. It's got 147 co-sponsors. Wow. So, okay. I mean, you know, will Trump sign it? He had Nancy Pelosi sitting in his left hand. Basically, he was eating out of her hand during that entire interview, if you guys saw it from a couple weeks ago. So I don't think we can take anything for granted at this point. And I mean, obviously the 147 co-sponsors are a lot of the usual suspects. But at the same time, I mean, that's a lot of people. You know, all it theoretically would take is one more nutball to go nutso, and all of a sudden you've got another, you know.
Yeah, well, Republicans are
life,
caving.
right?
Yeah, Republicans are caving. I'm sure there's some Republicans in there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is the assault is continuing on all levels, both state and federal. So everybody needs to be very cognizant of what's going on in their state, as well as at the federal level, and be diligent, folks. You have to pay attention to these things. I mean, you know, Hank is in Florida. I'm in Indiana. So, I mean, we both keep a close ear to the ground on what's happening in our state. But there are so many states where things are going on, even so theoretically red states, where they have similar bills and legislation in. Some states are not going to go anywhere, others it may not. And I'll recant the same story as when I was talking to my local state senator here in Indiana a couple weeks ago, Pressel. And he's told me that the recent survey he sent out on constitutional carry in Indiana, and this is a red district by far where I'm at, because I am in one of those counties further east of the state line. But he said that nearly 70% of respondents were opposed to constitutional carry. That tells me that all the conservative folks who got those surveys threw them away, or they didn't go online to take their online survey, which either way, it takes 2 seconds and a postcard stamp if you want to do it, or hop online, whatever. Every state's different how they do that. But how is that possible in an area that's so red that low of a turnout came out? Now, he's a Republican, and he was like, well, you know, I really can't support it because the people don't support it. I'm like, all right, fine. Maybe I'm going to challenge you in the primary next time around. You know, you know, it's not my fault you hate Indiana and you hate the Constitution. But the fact of the matter is, if these representatives are not hearing from you, no matter how red or right or whatever you want to call it, no matter how pro whatever you might think they are, if all they're hearing from is the antis, well, they want to get reelected. First and foremost, they want to get reelected. Almost every single politician out there, all they want to do is get reelected. And if an area that's as red as mine is can see that for something that's got such huge approval in the overall polls for the state, it can happen anywhere. We saw it happen in Florida with their thing. I mean, right? The gunshine state. And look what happened down there to 18 to 20-year-olds. So it can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these politicians are like weather vanes. Whichever way the wind is blowing, that's the direction they turn in. So,
looks like we got some fellow Hoosiers in the chat.
Okay, cool.
I still don't know exactly what the hell a Hoosier is because everybody tells me different things. But I've been here for nearly 15 years now, so I guess maybe I'm a Hoosier now.
Yeah, by default.
By default. Yeah. Still consider myself a Floridian though.
Okay. I've been here I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere else. In the world, much less America. So, I think it's pretty awesome. Let's see. I'm just going through the news here to see if there's any things in the news I'm missing. If you're out there and you think, hey, this is also going on in the news, let me know right now and we'll take a look at it. It's not a lot of stuff going on. I mean, Adelaide says was born in Indiana, grew up in Texas. So there you go.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. I carry my revolver, also from Illinois. There you go. Nico Ghost Gunner says South Central Indiana. All right. Let's see what else we got going on here. I see all the Hoosiers and stuff like that. Yeah. Music lover agrees with me. Politicians blow in the wind. Yeah. For every possible meaning of that. Yeah. Enrique Q is in Chicago. How far are you from Chicago?
I am. I'm about, depending on where at, hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half east of Chicago, roughly.
Okay, cool.
Take.
Oh, you know what we forgot, man? You were going to show us that light that you got there. Let's do that before we run out of time.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is more of a utility light. This is the H2R Nova. This is more of a utility light than like a tack light or anything like that. And it's got a clip on the side. You can clip it in any direction you want. It's got a nice S clip on it. It comes with an actual headband. You can frickin' put this thing on your headband if you want. Magnets on there. It's got a pull slip. I got a video that just went live on this at 13C Gun Reviews web channel, or 13c.us. You can click through. Pretty cool light. 1 lumen on the low end, 2,300 lumens on the high end. It's rechargeable. Recharges on any number of bases. I'm going to show you guys which base is this. So it comes with this little USB recharger.
I love these rechargers, by the way.
What's that?
I love the way that these lights recharge.
Yeah, it's just a magnet on the base. It's an 18650 battery in here. So on the high level, you get 110 minutes of use when you're talking about the maximum level. You drop down to the one lumen on the lowest end. You're at freaking 45 days of runtime. And then anywhere in between for the other, there's 5 different brightness settings on here. It's magnetic base, so it will, I got something magnetic here to freaking, here, we'll go with the other charger base, right? So one of the other lights I have that has this little desk stand charger base. It'll magnetize on anything magnet. It's a cool light. Tomorrow they're having a flash sale on it. You can click over to the channel. You'll see that tomorrow between 1 and 3 for 40% off.
Oh, cool.
It's pretty neat light. That puts this thing down to, I think, like $40 for the light itself with the accessories and the rechargeable battery in here. You figure the rechargeable battery in here is worth $20 anyway. So you're getting a light for $20. I mean, it's hard to beat. The highest lumens is 2,300 lumens. It'll only run on 2,300 lumens for a couple of minutes, and then it starts getting hot and it drops down to 750 lumens continuous run, or you can do 600. It'll run at 650 lumens for like 2 hours. At the 200-ish lumen range, it'll run for like 10 or 15 hours. And then there's another lower lumen and one level. So it's like five full levels. There's SOS mode on this. It's pretty neat. They make better lights if you're looking for tack lights, but as far as a multi-purpose, multi-use light, if you're looking, it's got a wide beam on it as well. So it illuminates a large area. So if you were working on something, set it out, it'll cast a really wide beam.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm liking the O-lights, and I think I'm going to adopt the system. The biggest reason to me is the charging things, because if you have a couple of these, you can have one in your office, which I do. So I've got one of the, what is this? This is, I forget what, this is the H1R Nova.
Those are cool lights.
Yeah, and I have this all the time right now. And I have one in here in the office. I could have one in the car. I could have one at the house. So any of these lights I have that, oh, the light's running down, I could just, click it on that thing, recharge it wherever you are. So I like those. I don't know if there's any other questions about that, but I did go grab, if you guys saw me disappear for a second, I got some stuff in to test that I'm going to be making a video on soon. And this stuff came to us for a testing from Optics Planet. There is a link in the description to Optics Planet. They send us stuff from time to time for us to test. I think there's like a coupon and everything in there, and they don't tell us what to say about it. So we could test it, say whatever the hell we want. It doesn't matter. So this is the Goal Zero Venture 70 right there. Okay. Phone and tablet recharger. And I'm going to open this up and set it up one of these days. So there you go. That's cool. Of course, if you have that, you have to have a way of charging it. So I also got the from Goal Zero, the Smart 7 solar 7-watt solar panel. Boom. There you go. So you can basically, you put this in the sun, it charges up that battery, charges up your devices, ready for the apocalypse. I don't know. There's probably not going to be an internet in the apocalypse, but it'll last for a little while. Right? What do you think about that, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. And having like 1 lumen, some people don't understand, and I have people ask me about 1 lumen, and yeah, the batteries in these guys are all replaceable. And this is actually a 1860 conversion that lets you put in 2 CR123s in this little sleeve so that it mates up in these guys that take 1850s. But 18650s, most of them transfer over, not all of them. So you want to make sure if you're going to do that. But like these lights, you know, will run for like 45 days on 1 lumen, right? That's a long time to find a power source to recharge these. And for people who don't understand what 1 lumen is, you know, moonlight, you know, like a full moon where it casts a shadow is only the light that's actually hitting the ground is only like 1 or 2 lumens anyway. So it is a ton of usable light. So where else were we going with that?
Well, and I think we were talking about how to recharge things. And I know, for example, like with the solar panels, if you have, that's why I'm getting into this kind of stuff, right? It's not just for like the zombie apocalypse or anything. I think it's for things that could happen to you, or you could be out somewhere and then your phone is dying and you have, you know, alternate ways of dealing with it. But even in the apocalypse, you don't need the internet. On your phone, you got music, things that makes it livable. Right? If you've seen the Book of Eli, remember Eli had to go into the town with his iPod,
right,
just to get it charged. Well, hello. You know, like the gate at my, you know, I live out in the country and I have one of those country gates on an opener. That's solar, that's solar panel and battery, man. You know, so, and it goes a long time. I mean, eventually you run into problems. I think Lola was complaining to me about it today, that something goes wrong. So I'm not sure what went wrong, the opener or whatever, but for an extended period of time, if you have something like that, you could charge up things. And then, yes, you could use this through the USB. Like when you have these kinds of, when you have stuff like the Olights and lots of other flashlights are going to the USB method, you can use something like that to charge it. There you go. If you have one cable, you plug it into that once this is charged up, and you could charge up your devices and things like that. So, you know, I think flashlights and things like this very, very useful, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Keep me, yeah, definitely keep us in the loop on that charger there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. It's like I'm just showing people this is sitting on my desk. So what that means is that now I've got to do a video with it and all that and start testing it. So I'm gonna open it up and put it to charge up here, and then let people know I'm gonna start using it. So I'm gonna be recharging stuff like crazy. You know, going all solar panel and everyone. Okay, let's see if we have any. Screaming Skull Saloon says his goal 0 solar panel works great. Brick says zombies are here. That's why the Second Amendment is being chipped away. Oh yeah, that's for sure. I've been telling people for a long time we're living through the zombie apocalypse. People are ignoring what's happening in America. Maybe we just got to like this fatigue level where I think people are just ignoring what's happening, man. You know, and I think that makes you a zombie. Yeah. You know, if you're just going through the world and you have no idea what's going on and people are eroding your freedoms every day and you don't know, then there you go. You have no clue. And then Nicoverse said photos and video on the phone is good. Helps me keep a good mood up. Yeah, that's true. You know, I've got tons of videos on there and photos and music. I have audio books, all that kind of stuff, you know. I use my phone for a lot of stuff, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, my phone is always with me. That's the reason why, like I'm saying to people, if you're one of our Patreons right now, and you want to get in touch with me easily, where you can directly talk to me, or it doesn't take time for me. You know, it takes time for me to go to all the videos because we're literally posting a video every day. You know, so it takes time to go through the videos, look at the comments, and then I have a lot of social media which I go through and I comment, and I'm always responding to people. So what I wanted to do was make a way that people can directly get in touch with me, and then I can see that they got in touch with me, and then I could also get back to them. So here you go. Joe just sent me a link. Do you want me to post this, Joe?
If you want, yeah, that's to the O-Link thing, Olight thing. Yeah. If you wouldn't mind, if you guys are looking for it, do you?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, let's see. I should be able to put this up.
Yeah. When the live stream ends, remind me to talk to you about that.
Yeah. Okay.
Like.
Oh, absolutely. Here, I'm gonna see. Let me know if this went up. I think it should have gone up. Should be a link there. So yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
You know. So. Yeah, I do have a way that people can get in touch with me right now. If you're Patreon, you've probably seen that number. There's a post up there with the number. So that's a way to get in touch with me. I'm going to go more widespread with that. So the next place that's going to roll out to is going to be to my email list. So, and the email list is available at hankstrange.tv. You can go there and, you know, and then you could input your email and you get on the list, and then we'll send out reminders, things that are going on, and we'll be able to keep in touch with you. Lola's reminding me that, that all links are in the description for now. I think we're going to have to change all of that. Have you been on since all that stuff has been going on? I think so.
Yeah. So, I mean,
yeah. So what are you doing about all this?
So, well, I've deleted, I think, 2 or 3 videos in total, and I really don't feel bad about deleting them because, you know, the douche move that X Products did, I really don't care about taking those down. So you're welcome, Timothy. Tomorrow between 1 and 3 Eastern time, click that link and you're going to get 40% off if you're so inclined, off of this guy, which, you know, I mean, like I said, it's hard to beat, but, and I'll have something on my Facebook page to blast that out. But, so I deleted a couple of those videos with the drums in it that are just related to drums. Do you remember what the X Products CEO said about how he felt about you should license people who, if they want to exercise their Second Amendment? It was insane. Right. So I don't feel bad about taking those down. The rest of the videos are all going to stay. Well, I take that back. I did take down the video of the M240, or not M249, the GE minigun versus school bus filled with binary explosives. That's the other video that's not associated with them that I took down because I figured that one's going to get, that one's probably not going to go over. Link-wise, I deleted any direct links to anything that sells firearms. I left most of the rest of the links intact, and then we'll just see what happens. I mean, with what they've been doing lately, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. I don't think leaving the rest of that stuff up is going to matter. They're just going to do whatever they're going to do. So
yeah, I mean, it's a whole complicated thing. So, you know, I think we probably need to do some kind of show coming up very soon talking about what to do with all this. I know that one of the things that's been going on lately that we can talk about is lots of people are lots of gun guys that have YouTube channels are registering their names on Full 30. Have you done that?
I have. Hopefully it will. Hopefully it's going to actually, you know, they'll be letting more of us on. I have registered on a site called Gunstreamer, which is a video hosting site. I'm also over on One Way. One Way is like a Facebook alternative that allows you to also host videos. So, I mean, I'm going to be going around and spreading the love to any alternative site I can find, with the exception of Pornhub. I won't be going over there because I want my daughters to be able to check out my videos and enjoy them without that coming up. Yeah,
absolutely. So, yeah, not going on Pornhub. Uh-oh. I see Babyface P made it down here. By the way, Adelaide said lots of douchebag moves going on. For you. So, and it's sad that it's come to this, and I think that's in regards to everything going on there. The Tyven Show wants to know if you're going to Knob Creek.
I am not, but that's April 14th. So if you're going to Knob Creek, that's great. If you're not going to Knob Creek on April 14th, we might as well, since we brought up the date. Pretty much every state house in the country on April 14th, there is a Second Amendment rally. So if you can make it down to your state house on April 14th, please do so. I know there's a lot of state legislators who will be talking in Indiana and other state capitals as well, the ones who are actually pro-right to keep and bear arms. I will be down at the Indianapolis State House on April 14th. I'll speak briefly, probably. You know, I'll keep my comments to 60 or 90 seconds, something like that. But definitely try and turn out and be there. You know, the anti-gunners made a big show, and the media really overblew what happened at their March for Life. So we need to turn out. You know, if there's any way you can possibly go to your local state house, definitely please do it. If not, see if there's an alternative in states that are really long. You know, if you're living down in Miami, for example, and you can't make it to Tallahassee, maybe there's something locally you can go to. But I would be cautious of doing something like that in some states, only because it may detract from the main events that are happening at the Capitol.
Right. Okay, and to just go back in the few minutes that we have here, I did get some advice and that I'm going to share with you guys from a very, very big YouTuber. And when I say very, very big, I mean like probably like in the top 3, if not the top of the top 3, but in the top 3. So this is their advice: remove all links to any outside source selling things that might be prohibited, and remove all videos showing the manufacturing. So for example, like 80% lowers. If you have a video showing you building an AR from a box of parts, remove it. Anything bump stock related, remove it if you haven't already. You know, so yeah, so there's just, you know, that's just for what's going on with those things. I think, you know, that's gonna, lots of people are gonna fall onto this stuff. So right now you might want to remove it. There's some things going on. There's some places that things that are in the works and all that we really, like, I personally can't get that deep into. I am dying for the day when I could actually do that and like come on and talk to people about it. But I would say definitely take moves to preserve your channel, because like you said at the top of the show, right, they're out there, you know, right now taking some people down. So you know, maybe like I said, maybe I'll do something about this once I know that I could get out there and talk about this. So all right, Babyface, did you find what you're looking for?
Yeah, a bunch of food in front of me.
Okay, if there's any food there related to me, don't eat it.
You want some
Oh no, you brought in food. Did you find your parts?
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, he hasn't even gone to look for that, for anyone who wants to know. Yeah, he says he's hungry, so he's eating right now. Okay, so you didn't even come on and say what's up to the people. I could be making it up that Babyface P is here in the house with me. You know, Babyface P is actually computer generated. He's not real. You can't get anyone that ghostly white in reality.
I'm hungry.
Oh, he's eating.
There you go.
He came in and just went right for the food. I thought he was going to go for the parts. So there you go. Yeah, okay. He is hungry. He is hungry. We came to say what's up to everyone. Okay, Joe, so we're about to get out of here, man.
Yeah.
What do you want to point the people at before we leave?
If you haven't signed up for a newsletter, please do. We're running it through MailChimp. So, you know, it's a secure mail server. Your information shouldn't get disseminated without, you know, at all. We won't spam you, 1 email a week maximum. And it's a good way for you to stay in contact with us, just like signing up at hankstrange.tv for Hank's email is a good way to stay in contact with him, because literally next month we have no idea what's going to happen. We really don't. Given what it could go from one extreme to the other. So I don't want to be overboard on this, but definitely you've got to have a way to stay in contact with us so you know where we go and we know where we're going in the future. 13cgunreviews.com. If you want the short way to get there, 13c.us. And 13c.us, you'll see the website. Sign up is over on the right. You'll see it there. There's links up top to all of our stuff. We also have, since the thing is coming up, we do custom fight soaps. This is actually one of the Christmas ones that's left over. If you guys aren't familiar with fight soap, it's pretty cool. You can pick it up from our swag shop. We also have the spring version.
Awesome stuff.
The spring version that's still out, and you know, commemorating Lexington and Concord, smells fantastic. You'll feel as invigorated as shooting red coats in the face on a early spring morning.
Awesome. Okay, very cool. So I want to remind everyone, like Lola said, all the links of everything we talked about are in the description. For myself, if you want to find out stuff that Joe was talking about, please go to 13C Gun Reviews. If you're not subscribed over there, if you don't follow him on social media, please do that. Make sure to check out his email subscription. I really do think something's coming down the pike, guys. Something's going to happen for sure. They're not changing these rules for no reason. So things are going to be happening for sure. And you're going to see more of this. There's lots of activism and all.
I saw it disappear. I don't know where it went.
So anyway, so you know, there's things that are going to happen. So we're preparing for that. We're getting ready for it. So, you know, check out hankstrange.tv. There's a link in here for that. That's the next place that I'm going to roll out my phone number for folks who want to be able to get in touch with me. If you're on Patreon right now, it is up there. If you want to see it, you can send me a message. Basically, the way it works, text me if you can, text me, and then I'll send you back a text that you click on, and then you can fill out some information. So that helps me create the contact info, which makes it easier for me to do this, right? So I know who I'm talking to. So, and then don't forget to check out Big Daddy Unlimited. There's also a link in here. Forge from Freedom. That's where we get our T-shirts. I think I'm wearing the Assault with a Deadly Weapon right under there. Do you see it?
Nice.
Assault with a Deadly Weapon right there. And there's the Salt with the Deadly Weapon. There you go. So I want to thank everyone here in the chat, everyone that's watching, all the good comments, all that kind of stuff. You guys coming out every day. You know, obviously, I know it's not tough to. We're doing this like Monday to Friday, and then even on the weekends, we're still shooting videos and posting videos and all that. So thanks for everyone for coming out. We want to thank everyone that supports us on Patreon. We're Patreon.com/Hank Strange, and we stripped the audio out of this and put it on the iTunes.
Nice.
On top of all of that, man. So if you guys want to listen to this is like episode 168. Tomorrow, that's going up on iTunes. We've got 167 episodes on iTunes right now. So go there. You can listen to them. Leave us reviews. Say how awesome we are. You know, you can talk bad about Babyface P and Lola and Walter if you want to, but say how awesome Hank Strange is, and we're good.
Awesome.
There you go.
Thanks, everybody. I see everybody checking in the chat, saying goodbye. Everybody, Richard, Vanessa, Better Call Saul, Caroline EDC, all you guys, thank you so much. Tomorrow, when you get done watching Hank Strange's live stream tomorrow, which will end at 8 o'clock Eastern, right? About?
Yes. No, it ends at 9 Eastern. 9 Eastern, yeah.
Consider hitting us up on Instagram. We're at 13C Gun Reviews over on Instagram. We do a live stream basically when Hank's done every Friday night for a little while. And we just kind of, you know, talk and BS and shoot the breeze. It's basically a open chat session for you guys to ask questions of anything you've seen during the week that you want to know more about. So absolutely, we have random guests on there and everybody else. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah,
I've noticed I have to physically also select you for you to come on. Like when you're talking, it's not triggering it. So, okay, this is getting real bootleg right now, man.
Yes.
So thanks for everyone for being here. Big shout out to everyone that sponsors us. ATI Outdoors, Safety Harbor Firearms, Andrews Custom Leather, and of course, Big Daddy Guns. Good thing we got the sign up there for that one. We are out of here. Peace.
Thanks, everybody. See you.
All right.